Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. I'm Hamza Idris. On Tidbits tonight, the Niger State Police Command stopped a rally supporting Bola Tinubu, the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate, and his running mate Kashim Shettima in Borgu local government area due to what they called potential security threats. According to the State Police Public Relations Officer, Wasiu Abiodun, the police acted proactively based on intelligence received of a potential security breach at the rally venue. The rally, labeled Grand Lockdown, was scheduled to take place at Borgu Township Stadium but was prevented by the police taking control of the venue. There is serious misunderstanding, of course, between convener of the rally, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, and Governor Sani Bello. Recall that the governor had defeated Sabi Abdullahi in the party's senatorial primaries for Niger North. Also, in our the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has assured Nigerians that despite the deadline of February 10th to phase out all notes, the Apex Bank will continue to accept the all notes as provided in Section 20, subsection 3 of the CBN Act. Emefiele stated this on Tuesday when he finally appeared before the House Ad Hoc Committee on the swap of new railroads. Take a look.
More than 2.7 trillion naira were outside the banking system. More than 2.7 trillion naira is held in people's homes. What that does is that it makes our mandate of monetary policy very difficult. When we are not in control, out of 3.23 trillion, what we see only in the banking system is just about 500 billion. There is no how our work, which you, the lawmakers, has made a law for us to carry out. Our work cannot be effective. And that is the reason, and permit me, I will continue to say, and thank the president that in 19 years, we've had an opportunity to carry out this important aspect of our mandate. We deployed all our staff. We effectively shut down Abuja, shut down Lagos. All staff, go to your locality, not just your state, not just your local, go to your locality.
So only if you had communicated this to us much earlier, the crisis would not have come up at all. Nigerians would have gone home to sleep without any fear of let or hindrance. So I want to thank you so much for coming up with this submission, most especially your last statement, the confession you made about the position of the law, that the bank will at all times respect as sacrosanct the position of the laws of the land, of course, which is an act that established the central bank and also provided for the establishment of your good office as governor of the central bank. It's a law that is in black and white, very clear, written in black and white, and you have said it all.
Well, tonight on the program, we are joined by Dr. Tanko Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed served as Secretary General of the Alumni Association of the National Defense College, ANDEC. His areas of specialization include sociology, public administration, national security, policy analysis, and strategic studies. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, strategically, let me use one of your qualifications to bring you to this program because of the wide implications, of what is happening at the CBN and Nigeria at large. And I want to have your take. What is really happening? Because as we speak now, you can't buy banana. Our editor-in-chief, he cited this example like 3 times today, saying we can't even afford to buy banana.
Yeah.
The money is not there in the banks, in the ATMs. Where is the problem?
Yeah, as you have mentioned, this is a very, very general thing, but it affects everybody. It has something to do with public behavior.
Okay.
Anybody that finds himself or herself in charge of public affairs like public servants in general, whether you are in charge of central bank, whether you are in charge of defense or whatever. You have to be public sensitive whenever you are going to take an action. It's not enough to mention or explain that you have a policy to put on the ground. You must also carry the people along to think together, to plan together and execute things. In the clip that we just heard now,
yes,
I saw that was it the chairman of the committee?
Exactly.
He was saying that if this thing was done before and it was explained in time, Nigerians are good people. They will follow it and they will do it. So one problem that will happen now, or that will start facing people who work in government officials, elected officers, together the same. People must be careful with the way they approach things that are coming into public use.
Yeah.
Like when they bring in policy, they work and perform and function through the policies they put on the ground.
Yes.
For goodness sake, even if policies as simple as traveling from one point to another, if you don't know that you are going to take the trip, how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it, you think that maybe you are not involved. And this is the problem of public policy in Nigeria. Anybody that studies public policy will tell you that from the colonial times,
yes,
up to now, up to today,
yes,
it's the same problem. People are not carried along.
If I get you, there is wide gap between those making the policy, those implementing it, and then the people who the policies are meant for.
Yeah, of course. Like now, let me give you an example with the central bank issue now. The central bank governor is talking in very good banking language.
All right.
Yeah, the banana seller, and me and you that we don't have a ready-made coins or some
yes,
or money ready-made to buy the banana. We don't understand banking language. So banking language, if you are going to do it, you don't come out to public and talk exactly the way you talk on maybe internal memo from one department to another.
Yes.
You have to soften up and you have to do it in time. I know people are being accused of not adhering to deadlines, but how do you adhere to deadline on anything if these things are not well explained? Yes, Nigerians are very good citizens. Nigerians are very
law-abiding,
fantastic obedience. That is why sometimes when we obey bad policies, we behave badly. Or if you don't, yeah, of course. If policies are responsible for controlling or directing public minds, public behavior, and as our leaders are making policies and we are following them and things are not working, there is something wrong along the way because we are good followers.
All right, now this brings me to this question, because it's like millions of Nigerians, they don't really understand this cashless policy, because of course we will never see the quantum of money that we've seen last 2 months.
Yeah,
very unlikely unless the policy is upturned. But are Nigerians really ready to go cashless?
Well, it depends on Nigerians are ready to go cashless as much as the system can accommodate and run it functionally.
Okay.
Because the system is the vehicle here. If you climb the vehicle, even if it moves, you don't know where you are going. What are you going to do about it?
You will fail.
So cashless policy does not necessarily mean no cash at all. Yes, but there will be more of seamless cashless transactions.
Yeah.
Like I've arrived in Abuja since yesterday. I don't think I have spent any currency.
That is you, because
in
you are
my
one of the technocrats.
Yes. Yeah, because well, a technocrat. I'm the ordinary citizen. I'm an ordinary citizen, but I have my bank card. I also paid my driver by transfer with his phone. Maybe along the way going back, he can stop in Akwanga where if there is no chaos, he can cash his own money and reach home with it.
But most of the ATMs are empty, and inside banking halls, when you go in, they will tell you that they will not give you cash. You can only deposit.
Yeah, this is what you see in Abuja. But there are places also where people has devised or reverted back to former ways or former currencies. There is a community I had in Niger State or one of these states around that are still using silver to settle bride, the dowry.
Yeah.
Maybe you come to
Niger,
my house, you want to marry my daughter, I will now ask you, you have to give me they call it 2 fingers, it's nuggets of silver.
Okay.
If it is 5, whether there is Naira or Naira is not available, you will have to go and get those, buy up the silver in the market.
But are we progressing with this or
no, but now I learned that some of these people also exchange rice, exchange a motorcycle ride, exchange local supply of petrol and other things to get things going. People have their own minds, and people can change, people can create things. There are a lot of pockets of things where you can say hard to reach area.
But doctor, as a policy analyst, is this really normal? Should people revert to Stone Age by doing trade by barter?
They are not necessarily.
Because I have this strong belief that the structures to support the cashless policy is actually not there.
Well, what are we going to do now, yourself, your good self and myself now, if we get stranded along the road between Kefi and Akwanga? Are we going to say that simply because we trek or we pick race and run through the bush without our shoes? Are you saying that we are going back to Stone Age?
No, we are saying, for instance,
you have to do what you can survive first.
We have thousands of POS operators across Nigeria, but we report it in our paper today because we went around the country. You know, we have reporters all over, and these POS operators, for the fact that they could not even access cash from the banks, have to now resort to traders in market to now add money. You understand? Maybe if they are collecting 5,000 from a trader, they now give him like 500. Invariably, when they come back, they will now charge you 1,000 for you to withdraw 10,000. While before, so where are we heading to? Well,
that one is even a modern way of exchange. You see, once you put people in a situation of their need, they feel threatened, they will create ways to survive. Otherwise, still the banana seller that you gave example, the banana seller doesn't mean that they have not sold the banana. It doesn't mean that somebody has not eaten the banana.
Today, because honestly here, we go to the grassroots to feel the pulse, you know. We have a report today that at a certain market in Taraba State, you know, that they used to sell like 1,000 heads in that market. But up till around 4 p.m. today, they were only able to sell like 40 cows in that market, simply because the herders who brought these cattle to the market said they are not ready to receive transfer. What they want is you should give them cash. Yes,
I understand.
So how can we now reconcile this? What do you think CBN should do to solve this problem?
Okay, what the CBN should do now is that the policy is there. Let's not confuse ourselves about the policy.
Whether it will work or it will not work.
They have to make it work. It is the strategy that is the way they will take to achieve and get this policy done. That is where we should put our attention. Not the policy itself. It's already on ground. We already have ATM, we already have cards and other things. So the cashless policy has its own gadgets with us.
It has come to.
We are not saying that we should not be talking about cancelling it, but how to get this thing work out is the strategy. The last time I think we discussed things, the difference between strategy and policy. Once we get this strategy, you the expert, you the government official, you the statesman or state woman, you the policy maker, you the boss, you the governor of central bank or house of rep, you have to reach out to the last person. These people that you said they will collect only cash, they have a representative. And
when
in the house of
with the market leaders,
you had the guy saying that it's good that you are here. If we had known this in time, and we know it like the way you explain it now, there would not be any crisis. Nigerians are very good citizens. Yes.
Another issue is that even those of us, personally, I tried it today. I wanted to buy a recharge card. I'm used to buy a recharge card via my phone, but I could not. I wanted to transfer money. I could not. And when I ask those who actually have this, they are savvy,
the service provider.
Yes, they said the traffic is so congested that the facilities we have, that is the banking facility, could not absorb the shock as we speak now. Meaning you can't even transfer, you can't buy the recharge card. Sometimes you have to keep trying. Maybe at the 10th attempt, you'll be able to now transfer certain amount of money. So who and who should now come together to resolve this? Because even if you and me cannot transfer, I believe in transferring money. I believe in receiving it via transfer. I feel that I can live for a week without, cash in my pocket. I can do all that. But my mom, when I was talking to her, she said, how can I understand what you are telling me? This was the question she posed at me. So who and who do you think should come together now to enlighten Nigerians that this thing will work? And what should they do in terms of actually empowering people to own this process? Yeah,
you have mentioned a very important point when you take out traffic congestion on transfer because it's so slow. What are the IT section of each bank now? Most of the banks, almost every bank in Nigeria
has
survived. Survived very well on the IT infrastructure.
And you see, Doctor, we had this report. We did this report.
What we are doing now. So to get our mind focused, which area are we going to inquire from to know the problem? Once we establish heavy traffic on transfer, go and check out the IT departments. If you do that, there is an IT general server for the country. There are agencies, there are experts there, they could sort it out. So if to say they were carrying the money on vehicle and the road got stuck, you go to the Federal Road Safety and the police. They will help you discongest. So now we go to the IT people, which we have in every bank. If we discover that some people are delaying or shutting down channels, or they fail to be responsible enough to shut down channel of data or speed of transfer, they are the ones to think. If there are other channels that they are supposed to shut down, they did not. And people have to come and suffer before people talk to them. They should be held responsible. In some countries, they could even go to jail.
Yes, why I'm saying this is because of two reasons. Number one, most of this, we did a report here, at the Daily Trust, across our platforms, that most banks have lost their good talents in the IT to other countries. They have done what they call now JAPA because of the poor condition of service here. So the banks are actually struggling to survive. This is one. And then secondly, from what we've noticed based on our investigation, the middle class and the upper class, they are not even feeling this. Of course, they have this little challenge of doing the transfers and all that, but it is the people at the grassroots, the poor, the rank and file, that across Nigeria, they are now suffering because even the money that the CBN is saying people should take to the bank, when you go to the banking halls, nobody is taking anything, meaning that they have mopped up almost everything. So our concern is actually the poor. There are some who don't even have access to phone now. So how do they transit to this cashless environment?
Okay, from first of all, the way you described now, very, very good. There are certain segment of society, larger part of society that is cut off. We call it informal economy.
Yeah.
They are the ordinary people that go to the market that sell banana here, or if you are traveling along the way, you come across any market, you just see trailers loading grains. The price that they pay is almost free of charge.
Yes.
If you compare with the products that will come back to us to buy, like Indomie.
Exactly.
Yes, like Indomie, if you see the price or the quantity of millet and millet and wheat, and drum wheat that they evacuate out of Hadeja, for example, every day, it's very large quantity. You move it down to Lagos, they soak it in water, they dry it, fry it, grind it, mix of something, package it inside packages. They will send it to us. We will buy it because our children will not eat Brabisco. They will not take fura and other things. But the same gero, we eat it as Indomie. That is
noodles.
Economic imbalance, and because it is based on the way we think.
So is the government running faster than its shadow? Is it actually setting the cart before the horse? The system is running faster than the government.
Okay.
So meaning that our government is actually laid back of sorts.
Well, the officials are failing on their duty. Now, what we are talking about with you, let me just single out one department of government, Ministry of Information. What are they doing with all the staff in Ministry of Information? What are they doing with all the TV stations all over the country? They also control and regulate other agencies that regulate communication. Why don't you, for goodness sake, if it is emergency, why don't you shut down certain channels that are not as necessary as this, so that all the payments will just go maybe 6 hours in the night? You shut it down, you shut down everything and open ways only for banks for only 3 to 6 hours in the night. Make the announcement. In the morning, you will not see anybody in the bank.
Okay, this boils down to what you earlier said, that the system does not have actually the structure.
And also the people there.
Because how can we reconcile this? For instance, Yobe State Governor said out of the 17 local governments in the state, only 4 or 3 have banks. All the remaining 17, they rely on cash. Even Ganduje, governor of Kano State, a few days ago, he said about 23 local government areas out of the 44. They don't have banks. So how can we fast track this?
Okay, what about Borno State? That is just in the neighborhood. Well, we have to go there because Governor Zulum, I think the day before yesterday, I posted something on one of my platforms saying that Governor Zulum is a perfect model out of NIPS. I call him an MNI, Zulum. Of course, that's my base for where I spend all my career. That is what I deal of training people. And we have the right to say that because Governor Zulum is also of NIPS.
So how do they
what he has done? Strategically, that is strategy. It's like
that we're talking about.
If you want to do fishing in strategic leadership, it's like you cast a net, then you drag everything out of the water,
then you sift,
then you sift through. All the local government chairmen, all the local government chairmen, traditional rulers, down to the last bulama, all the traders association, all the women group, NGOs, and everybody, he sat them together. Everybody now takes care of a channel where you mop up the old money. As you are mopping it up, you are putting the new money there. I don't think you will have as much complaint in Borno State as you are going to have in Yobe State. And if you cover this on your TV screen, somebody has seen it somewhere. You don't need to go to NIPS to be as good as somebody that has gone to
the wider society.
Yes, but you can copy.
Okay.
You can copy.
Okay, thank you very much for this.
Yes,
but I want to go back to the House of Reps today because Nigerians honestly did not expect, let me put the romance, I'm sorry to use this word, that happened at the House of Reps committee, because they've been looking for this man, saying they are going to arrest him if he didn't turn up. Now he was there. He did the long grammar, because you mentioned the policy language which Nigerians do not in any way resonate with. He said they will continue to collect the all-nots. But I know for sure that CBN will not collect money from individuals. You cannot just go and say, okay, I am here to deposit. But some people are already celebrating. Is it actually a misplaced celebration? Well,
we will live to see if it is going to work that way. Of course, central bank does not need to, or they don't have to collect the all-nots directly from people, but they perform this kind of function through the banks. I just described the very...
But they say that for banks, by the 10th or by 17th, yeah, because even that's why it's dicey. Yeah. They are saying they have added 10 days. We're not sure whether these 10 days include weekends and all that. So they are saying, some people are saying 10th February, some people are saying 17th February. The whole thing is shrouded in secrecy, in misleading people, and people are complaining, Doctor.
Yeah, what if by tomorrow, because of the system is getting distressed, what if by tomorrow everybody decides to go the way the Borno state government has solved the problem? Because we can't ignore it. We can't ignore it as much as we cannot ignore the inability of those officials that are charged with this kind of responsibility, and they fail to do it.
Okay, as a policy analyst, I want to have your take. Why is the CBN governor so secretive in telling Nigerians the total amount of new Naira notes they have printed? Of course, they say they had 3.3 trillion in circulation. Now, 2 days ago, they said they have mopped up 1.9 trillion. But during his meetings with the ad hoc committee at the House of Reps, they didn't even care to ask him. Are they really not conniving to actually keep Nigerians in the dark?
Yeah, I think this keeping Nigerians in the dark and the question of secrets while performing government service is natural. There are certain, what if the central bank is hiding the actual amount so that they don't let it out? Maybe criminals may have access to it, or they will find a way to unleash havoc or commit more crimes. That is one side of doing it. On the other side also, the people, the central bank governor, as much as the House of Rep members that call him, they share, each one of them share public responsibilities. If the central bank governor goes there to explain in his own language, then the House of Rep also has the responsibility to now explain it down to the language. They represent the people.
All right.
So I think we have to share responsibility.
In resolving this problem.
We have to share blame. We have to develop culture of engaging services at point of delivery. Blame the last person delivering the job to you so that the message can go through more effectively.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tanko Ahmed, for coming to this program. I wish we have more time to discuss more
no problem.
on this, but we would definitely invite you.
All right.
Again, we thank you for coming to the program.
Okay, thank you.
Viewers, we'll take a break now, and when we return, the program continues. Stay with us.
Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na one man be a choice.
At last, the elections are here. Let's turn out en masse on election day and vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria for a renewed hope and a better Nigeria. Vote APC, the party that shows a broom.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Or really, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
That's correct. You could see that.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. Moving on, the victims of last week's airstrike in Rukubi, Doma local government area of Naira State, have attributed the incidents to the anti-open graze law in Benue State. In an interview with Trust TV in Lafia, the state capital, the victims called on the federal government to prevail on the Benue State government to repeal the law. Take a look at this.
Rukubi, a border community with Benue State, was last week thrown into confusion following the airstrike that killed over 40 Fulani pastoralists with several others injured. 60-year-old Alpha Bello, who lost 9 children during the airstrike after paying 6 million naira to the Benue State government to bail his cattle, wants the federal and national state governments to come to his aid, and also calls for a thorough investigation into the incident. I lost 9 children during the airstrike in Rukubi, Doma local government area of Naira State after paying 6 million naira as fine to the Benue State government to retrieve my cows. I am appealing to both the federal and Naira State government to come to my aid and other injured persons to enable them pay their medical bills. A relative of some of the airstrike victims, Usman Bawa and Ibrahim Hassan, who are currently receiving treatment at Aboki Clinic in Dalhatu Araf Specialist Hospital, Lafia, wondered why innocent persons were killed, urging government to take action against those behind the attack, and stressed the need for federal government to prevail on Benue State government to repeal the anti-open grazing law.
So when they were uploading them, not knowing what is going on, they have seen a little bit like an aeroplane or a jet or whatsoever it's called. Then before they know, they have seen all like a flash of light, not knowing that it is bomb blastering, then scattering all the cows and as well as those people who were there.
Also narrating their ordeal, Adamu Abdullahi, who fractured his left hand while scampering for safety, and Muhammadu Aliyu said they paid 1 million naira on each cow to Benue State government as fine. Abdullahi, who has 2 wives and 10 children, said they were offloading the cows when the airstrike happened, adding that many people and their cows were killed. I ran when I heard the blast, and in the process, I fell and dislocated my left hand. I am feeling severe pains in my chest, legs, and stomach. I am appealing to the federal government and state governments to please come to our aid. I'm calling on both the federal and Nasarawa state governments to thoroughly investigate the circumstances that led to the massive killing of innocent people with a view to bringing those behind the attack to book to serve as a deterrent to others. The chairman, Doma Local Government Area of Nasarawa State, Architect Ahmed Sarki Usman, who acknowledged that several people are still missing, called for calm, saying the state government is on top of the situation.
You must ensure there is peace and tranquility in the state. And in doing that, you call those that are affected, commiserate with them, persuade them to see reasons why we should not fight each other. We should try and ensure that the law comes to bear. That's exactly what we're doing. And at the moment, I want to assure you that everywhere is calm by the grace of God.
At the time of filing this report, no one has claimed responsibility, but pastoralists have accused the Benue State Governor, Samuel Otom, of orchestrating the attack, an allegation he vehemently denies.
Those were the victims of the Doma airstrike. We now have the president of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, Magbad, Baba Ngazarma, with us in the studio. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
We want to extend our condolences
to
you and the members of your group for what happened.
Thank you very much.
You have issued several statements, but what happened today is actually different because you called the group the Coalition of Pastoralist Association, CPAN. What informed this?
Well, the gravity of the carnage informed this because you have seen what took place. I have just watched from the video what actually happened. You have seen the casualties. About 40 people were killed. So many cows were killed. A lot of money is paid as fine to the Benue State government, and apart from the fine, a lot of money is being paid to the livestock guard as a damage as well. And up till the time that I speak to you, some of the cows are still held.
As we speak?
We speak now. We were told about 300 cows are still in Naka. Out of the cows that were impounded by the Benue State government, only about half were released to the pastoralists. About half are still with the Benue State government, and nobody is saying anything. And,
nobody is saying anything.
And about over 30 people died. Nobody is saying anything. That is what informed our coalition.
And who are in this coalition? Because it's actually monumental.
Yes, we have the representative of Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, that is my association, which is the umbrella body of all the associations. Then under it, we have the Pulpe Global and Right Initiatives, an association that was formed last year, a combination of the Pulpe elites, former governors and what have you. Then we have the Tabital Fulako International that has Lamido Sunusi as the international president and Mala Isai Guda, the former governor of Bauchi State, as the state chairman of Tabital Fulako in Nigeria. And we have also the John Dejam, who is also represented by his chairman, who is Saidu Mekano from Plateau, and a lot of other smaller groups. We have the Gavdan, who is also represented there. So about 7 groups were there in the coalition. So we have decided to come together on behalf of all the other groups to tell our position to the international community and to the Nigerian government.
In one of your press statements, you said genocide, and the theme of today's conference was killing of Fulani by government agencies, a recipe for looming genocide. Why are you using this word? Because genocide is actually a strong word.
What can you call this carnage then? People are doing their legitimate business. Their cows have been impounded. They have paid the fine as required by the Benue State government. And apart from the fine, they have also compelled to pay the damage to the livestock guard. And even at that, when the cows were impounded, they were brought into Makodi by foot. But when the fine was paid, these pastoralists were compelled to load them on lorries because
those who confiscated them.
Yes, they were denied pushing them, taking them by foot to the destination where they want to take them. They were compelled to have vehicles and take them out of Benue And even after doing that, at the point of uploading, they were attacked. So many people were killed.
But who are you actually suspecting? Because nobody said anything.
Actually, when it happens, it was a mystery for us. But it was after my visit to Doma, to the area where the incident took place. I met with all the affected pastoralists in Doma, at the MS Palace in Doma. We have discussed extensively, only for us to realize that it was a drone that was sent to bomb them.
Wow.
So who is supposed to handle drone in Nigeria today? Whether we like it or not, we must point accusing fingers to the security agencies, to the army in particular. Because we have cases that were clearly attacks from the Nigerian Air Force. On the 7th of November, we had an attack in Obi local government where some pastoralists and their cows were mistakenly killed. And on the second day again, the same helicopter came back and killed some other pastoralists in Kiana local government, also in Nasarawa state. And earlier, before that, in the same November, we had an attack in the border of Benue and Taraba.
Yes.
The same attack conducted by the Air Force helicopter. So,
because terrorists are yet to have helicopters.
So considering this, one will also assume this very one also is being, we may assume is being undertaken by the
Has the military contacted you?
Well, we had a meeting with the CDS yesterday. We had reported what actually took place. We had reported our findings in Doma to him. We told them this is the thinking, this is the damage, these are the loss, these are the number of people who were killed, and this is the circumstances of how the carnage took place. And the rest, we told him everything. And we clearly tell him our demands. We need proper investigation to fish out the perpetrators of this act and bring them to book for punishment. We also require them to tell us the fate of those who have lost their families. What is the government going to do with them? People have lost their loved ones.
And this is where I wanted to, because while going through the text of your speech, you said between 2017, right, and now, over 3,000 Fulani herders have been murdered in cold blood, with thousands more sustaining injuries, some incapacitated. And through the near-daily cattle raid expeditions carried out by Ottom's militia, over 200,000 heads of cattle have been rustled, and over 400 million have so far been paid to Ottom in Benue.
Exactly, to Benue State.
How did they arrive at these figures?
And the lives
they are really alarming.
We all have our records. We have the receipts that are used by the government.
And you have the names of these people, over 3,000.
We have them. We have them. When did this thing started for a very long time. What the Benue State and the open grazing law brought is so damaging to Benue State, not only to the pastoralists, even to the farmers. When Ottom brought in this law, he said it is going to be a win-win. But who is winning today? It's a lost case.
Lost.
It's lost. Even to the farmers, it's a lost. Go to Benue, you'll see a lot of IDPs containing farmers from villages packed in IDPs. What brought about this? It is the law. Since the law, since Ottom established the law with a bad intention to specifically chase out pastoralists out of Benue, what do you expect?
You think the law was not made in good faith?
Is the law made in good faith? Look at the title of the law.
But before he said this law, he met with the presidency.
Well, that is up to him. But the title of the law says open grazing prohibition and ranching establishment. One will assume ranches must be established before imposing the law. Today, as I speak to you now, there is no one single established ranch in Benue. Even Ottom's personal cows are doing open grazing in Benue.
Aha, because you've been talking about herders, and the general term, I can be a herder, any other person can be a herder.
Yes.
Are there herders that are indigenous to Benue and nothing is happening to them?
We may assume so, because there are some chiefs who are also owning cows.
Yeah.
Including Ottom himself, he has cows. His cows in a ranch. There's no one single established ranch in Benue up till today that we speak now. No one single ranch.
Now, when this thing happened, has he sent condolence message to you?
No condolence, no nothing from Autumn. The only condolence and concern coming to these pastoralists are the one that is extended to them by the Nasarawa state government. The Nasarawa state government has called them, he has sympathized with them, he has pleaded with them to become, not to take the law into their hands. He has even volunteered to release some money for their upkeep for some of their medical bills. I met with Simu, we have discussed before passing to Doma Emirate.
Yeah.
And the Emir of Doma also has done his best in calming the situation, in calling the pastoralists, plead with them, talk to them to become, not to take the law into their hands.
What is happening to the families, wives, children of all these able herders that have been killed over years? Where are the families?
Nothing up till now. Not even a message of commiseration from the federal government. Nothing. Not any
concern.
Not any concern from either the military or the Nigerian federal government. I didn't come across anyone of them. So that is what is disturbing us. That is what informed the coalition to go on an international press conference.
Okay, now what do you intend to do? This group that you now call, it's like you have coalesced into a force. Are you thinking of writing formally maybe to International Court of Justice?
Oh yes, why not? We'll do all that it takes to make sure that these people have gotten the right attention they deserve. We'll do everything possible under law to ensure that these people have gotten the right concern they deserve to get. Because, I mean, if you look at the way this thing happened, it's like there is no government in Nigeria.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. If not, how can people's cows be taken? Money taken away from them. And apart from the legal money, we may assume the assumed legal money from Benue State government. Apart from that, the livestock guard have also constituted themselves into an authority
to collect
They collect money. We have evidences where they were given money. The livestock guards are taking money apart from the money being paid to the government before you get your cows released to you. And up till now and apart from that, for example, 100 cows will be taken from you, will be impounded from you.
Yeah.
You will pay a fine for the 100 cattle that is being taken away from you as a fine. You will pay money as a fine for the 100 cows. The livestock guard will take their share. When the cows are released to you, you realize 30 or 40 of them are not there. They are missing.
And you cannot do anything.
Either dead or being wrestled. So we see this livestock guard as a bunch of cattle rustlers. Because the way they are treating the pastoralists in Benue, the way the Benue governor has allowed them to do what they like. I mean, it's like there's no government in Benue.
Finally, in the statement you mentioned other states. We have run out of time, but is this just peculiar to Benue, or you have issues in other states? In 1 minute.
No, this very happening is only peculiar with Benue State. Some other states that have established the law,
it has fizzled out somehow.
It has somehow fizzled out because in most of the states it's a political law to maybe satisfy the concern of the youth.
Yeah.
Because of the negative profiling against the pastoralists, so everybody sees an average pastoralist as a criminal. So some of the governors were compelled to make the laws.
Yeah, but they are not really active.
But they are not really active. But in Benue, it is a systematic elimination of the Fulanis out of Benue. That is the intention of Autumn. That is the reason why Autumn established that law. That is the reason why Autumn enforced the law even before the establishment of the ranch. So the intention is very clear that the law is intended to chase out pastoralists out of Benue.
I wish we had more time because you have listed many demands, but I just want the biggest of the demands that you want from the federal government.
The biggest we demand is apology first.
Okay.
Apology and commiseration from the authorities. Then second, investigation. This is absolutely necessary. Investigate, because these things have been happening.
Compensation?
So there has to be investigation, then followed by compensation to the victims.
All right. Thank you very much, Baba Ngezerma, Chairman, Macban, Association of Nigeria, and you are leading the CFAN, this coalition of different Fulani groups.
Yes.
We once again commiserate with you over what happened. May the soul of the deceased rest in peace.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Viewers, that's a wrap on today's program. Do well to collect your permanent voter's card and make a commitment to vote in the forthcoming election to guarantee a better future for all of us. Thanks for joining, and do join us again. I'm Hamza Idris.